Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 2025. It is opening day, and we have our opponent, the Cincinnati Reds. We will be facing them a pitching matchup of Brayan Bello and Noble Meyer. Let's jump straight into it. So this is what the lineups will look like. As we can see, Juan Soto has gone down a little bit, but that is because he is aging. He should be fine though because he is playing defense, hopefully. But let's get into it. So here we go, opening day. Brayan Bello on the bump for us. Our certified ace going into the season facing off against Guerra, and he will strike out. Here is Sal Stewart now. Strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bello. And it'll bring up Ramirez. Ramirez hits down up the middle, and it will keep the inning alive for the cleanup hitter. And he's going to be thrown out. Ramirez tries to steal against Ugalde, but he gets gunned out. So we go to the bottom of the first with Ugalde up to bat. He is going to fly out to left field. So it brings up Juan Soto. Soto hits it on the ground. It's going to be the second out. And now Julio. 3-2 pitch is hit and caught by the shortstop Lombard. So 1-2-3 burst for Mayer. Batoni will hit that one through the right side of the infield, past a leaping Barger. Here is Kennedy now on the ground. Barger turns and throws the first, a fielder's choice for the first out. Here is Castro now, and Castro demolishes that one. That is way gone, just over the wall and just over the extension of Whitmore. A two-run homer for Alan Castro. Bello bounces back with a strikeout. Now Duno will hit that one to center field. 43rd out. So the Reds jump on top in opening day. We go to the bottom of the second with Jimmy Neal up to bat, and he will strike out. So it brings up Danny Matthews now. Wow, Mayer having himself a day. Here is Whitmore. Jim Whitmore hits down to center field. 6 up, 6 down for Mayer. So bottom of the third is here, and we have the well-awaited debut of Dave Moyer. Had a phenomenal spring training and has a welcome to the big leagues moment as he is struck out by Mayer. Back-to-back by Barger. Now Silva, the starting shortstop, will strike out. Noble Mayer looking nice. Strikes out the side. We go to the top fourth now. Here is Jonathan Kennedy. Hits down to left field. Bello gets him to fly out. Moyer puts his first out in his glove. Here is Alan Castro now. Two-run homer his last at bat, and he hits down to center field. It is a bloop shot single. And he's going to steal second base, but Ugalde guns him out again. Do not run on him. And Jacob Lombard will strike out to end the fourth. So we go back to the top of the lineup. Edgar Ugalde hits down up the middle. That is the first hit for the Mariners. Let's see if they can continue it with Soto up to bat. 2-1 pitches hit the left field. It's not going to have enough juice though, and it'll die on the track for the first out. Here is Julio. He will walk. So first and second for Jimmy Neal, the righty. Hits down to left field for the second out. Can Matthews drive him in? The 1-1 pitch is down the right field line, past the glove of the first baseman. Ugalde will score. Julio is right behind him. It is a 2-run double for Danny Matthews as he slides into third and ties this ball game up. Now he waits for Jim Whitmore, and Whitmore will end the inning, but this game is tied. So top six is here. Sal Stewart leads things off against Brayan Bello. A tie ball game, and Stewart earns a walk. Bello's day is almost over. I'm going to get Vochko warming. Here is Yerman Ramirez, 2 for 2 today. He hits it on the ground. Silva to Barger to Neal. That is a 6-4-3 double play. Helps out Bello quite a bit. As Batanti will fly out to right field. That is a quality start for Brayan Bello. As Edgar Ugalde comes back up to bat. Started that rally in the fourth inning. He's going to pop out to the catcher for the first out. Here is Soto now, yet to reach base today. 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Mayer's 7th strikeout, most likely his last batter here. Julio 2-1 pitch is hit in the air, and that will do it for Meyer. We stretch here on opening day. I thought that was Meyer's last batter, but apparently not. He's going to go out for the 7th inning facing Jimmy Neal. No hits thus far in the ball game, and it will stay that way. He's just reached over 100, and that will be his last batter. So it brings up Danny Matthews versus a lefty. As we know, he mashes lefties. Matthews 1 for 2 today with 2 ribbies. Hits down to right field. He has 2 hits on the ball game. And we'll bring up Jim Whitmore. I'm going to get Volchko warming. Here is Whitmore, the 2-1 pitch with a runner on first. Hits it on the ground. The catcher is going to throw to second base. Matthews is going to be out, but Whitmore is safe at first, and it brings up Dave Moyer. Much better against lefties. Can the rookie phenom get a hit? He will not. It's going to end the inning. So we go to the top of the 8th, still deadlocked at 2. Joey Volchko will come into the ball game. Brain Perez will start to warm as well. The 9-hole, Anthony Gutierrez, is going to get plunked. Volchko loses it and allows him to reach. So here is Guerrero now, the DH. And Ugalde guns out a 3rd runner. That is his 3rd runner thrown out, his 3rd out by himself, and Guerrero will strike out. Here is Sal Stewart now, looking for a clean 8th. On the ground, Volchko has a clean 8th. What a day by Ugalde. A hit and 3 runners gunned out. Here is Addison Barger now. I'm going to pinch hit him for Brendan Serafini. So Serafini making his first at-bat of the season. 1-2 pitch is hit up the middle. It's not going to be fielded by the shortstop. So Serafini with a pinch hit single sets the inning for Esteban Silva. Young rookie, international free agent, bunts it, but it's not a good one. Batanti throws out Serafini, and Ugalde comes back up to bat. Edgar Ugalde, 1 for 2 today. Silva takes off for second, and he's in there. That speed is too much. So runner on second for Ugalde. He can cap it off with a great day, and he will. That is another hit for Ugalde, and it is the go-ahead run. Scoring. So Edgar Ugalde puts the Mariners on top. Juan Soto is going to walk, so it sets the bases up for Julio Rodriguez. 3-2 pitch coming to Julio is swung on and missed. Now Jimmy Neal, the World Series MVP in 2031, is going to hit down to the gap, but it's going to slice left and be caught. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. Up by 1, Andres Munoz comes into the ball game trying to get his first save and hand the Mariners their first win of the 2033 season, I believe. That is a strikeout for Munoz. Here's Batanti now. Batanti, the lefty, hits it on the ground. Serafini has it for the 2nd out. Now this Jonathan Kennedy, the left fielder, the last hope for the Reds. Down 0-2, will strike out. Andres Munoz has a clean 9th, and the Mariners take opening day. So yes, despite a lackluster performance from the offense, we do come through with clutch hits. Edgar Ugalde, have yourself a ball game. 2 hits, the go-ahead ribby, and 3 runners thrown out. Danny Matthews with 2 hits and 2 ribbies tied the ball game up. Brayan Bello has 7 innings, a quality start, striking out 6, and the bullpen holds the game down for an opening day W. All right, it is May 3rd of 2033. We are 12-17, 3.5 games behind the first place division leader in the AL West, the Angels. Let's go see how we have done. So as we can see here, in the month of April, we went 11-16, so a losing record. Our offense has been bad. It hasn't been that good. And same with the pitching, which means if it doesn't correct itself, we're most likely going to finish with another losing record at the end of the season. It kind of amazes me how we can be so bad despite making the playoffs the last few years with even worse teams. But regardless, we have a lot of things to fix. Looking at the pitching staff, we can see the worst pitcher on our team is unfortunately George Kirby. He was booted out of the starting rotation just because of how bad he was, and he has been moved to the bullpen. He does seem to have found a little bit more of success compared to the starting rotation, but George Kirby is obviously aging, and his time in Major League Baseball is most likely coming to an end soon. We were hoping for bounce back seasons from Hagen Smith and Valenzuela, but they're both disappointing quite a bit, putting up 6 ERAs or higher. Same with Bale. I do expect Bale to bounce back, but I feel like I say that every year about him. Of course, he is on that three more years of the contract, I believe. So hopefully he can right the ship. But our starting rotation has been bad. We did bring up Yuji Suzuki just because Kirby was struggling. I will go over who we have sent down. But the bullpen has been actually pretty decent, aside from Henry Lalline. Everybody else has been pretty good. Brian Perez, of course, who we expect him to be. He's always been this type of guy. DL Hall, our trade acquisition, is doing nicely. Another trade acquisition in Andrew Painter is doing very nicely in his first month. Hopefully they can keep that going. And yeah, the bullpen is fine, but the starting rotation has to get it going. Looking on the batting side now, we only have 5 players over the 100 OPS plus mark, which is a little sad to say, but again, it is like all the other teams that we have had, even better than the other teams that we have had, in my opinion. The only difference is Soto has aged quite a bit in the last season or so, and he isn't producing nearly as well as he has in the past. So Julio is kind of the only person carrying his team. I do expect some people to kind of bounce out of their slumps. Jimmy Neal, I expect him to bounce out of it soon. Dave Moyer, of course, I expect him to bounce out. You know, number 35 prospect. I also signed him to a 10-year deal worth $176,000, spanning across 10 years. Kind of giving him that Julio Rodriguez treatment. I just gotta hope that he develops into the player that I think he's gonna be. Though so far he hasn't been hitting like the player I thought he would be, although maybe I did rush him a little bit. As we know, last year he did struggle in AAA in 22 games. This year he seems to be kind of around that same mark, but it's been a month and we are a losing team, so might as well let the prospects play. Edgar Ugalde, Danny Matthews, and Jim Whitmore has been quite good. Danny Matthews, I'm hoping the pop comes more easier. You know, he does have nice pop, especially against lefties, but he does have good pop against righties as well, and it just hasn't been translating to the big leagues just yet. He has hit 6 in the month of April, and I'm hoping he can go on a spree. I was hoping he can be a guy who can head out maybe 30 to 40 a season, but so far he has been lacking in that department. Barger has been a surprising find. Same with Brendan Serafini. That kind of tandem at second base could be a little better, but it is what we have at the moment. Esteban Silva has struggled mightily. He has a 3 OPS plus and is not hitting well. I might have to send him down, and Zona might have to go back to the shortstop roles. But yeah, that's kind of been it. We are 12-17. Another losing month by the team, and it's a little disappointing. I was expecting the team to be a lot better going into the season. Honestly, it feels like ever since we let I forget who his name was or what his name was, but after that 2031 World Series, we let our pitching coach for the whole series. It's been the same guy. We let him walk, and ever since then, it kind of feels like the pitching staff has lost who they're supposed to be, and I guess I'm to blame for that. I'm to blame for that, for not bringing him back, and we're paying for it, obviously. But hopefully things get smoother. If we can go on a hot streak, get 500 months, get a good month, then we'll be a contending team. But we just have to pray and hope for that. But until then, we will see you in the next episode.